If you're wondering why Copenhagen is worth the visit, here are 3 non-negotiables when you're visiting Copenhagen. Copenhagen is Europe's most aesthetically perfect capital. It's clean, colorful, and walkable. But beneath the pastel waterfront lies over 600 years of history as Denmark's capital. Once a Viking stronghold, now a hub for design, innovation, and royal legacy. Number 2, Copenhagen is a masterclass in preserving the past while leading the future. From medieval castles and 17th century harbors to just cutting edge sustainability and modern Nordic coolness. Last and not least, you're literally walking through centuries of stories, monarchy, naval battles, Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales, and World War II resistance fighters, all layered beneath a city that is now run on bikes and minimalistic style. But what did we find on our day here in Copenhagen? Let's go see. Hi everyone, welcome to Copenhagen. I'm Leslie and I traveled the world looking for everything different and unique to share it with you. Thank you for being here. Before we jump into Copenhagen, we did stop in Kiel, Germany, and I'm sure you're asking, where's the Kiel video? I didn't do one. There wasn't a lot there except this. Okay, Captain says come up and see the suspension bridge, the belt bridge, as we leave Germany, heading to Copenhagen. So I really want to be in my pajamas again, but I am running up to see the bridge with you. I kind of see it. I'm up on it. Oh, please. And I'm sorry in advance for the wind. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was freaking ridiculous. So freaking cold. Oh, it's so windy, and like we were so far away. I'm going back to our cabin and watch it from the deck. That's how that's going down. Okay, I'm back in our cabin. I'm gonna put on the bathroom robe. I'm gonna put on the bathroom robe and then Roy's coat over my robe, and then I'm going out on the balcony, so stand by. Okay, I am an Olympic boxer, but I've got a super warm, cozy robe on. I'm gonna put Roy's jacket on now over the top of the robe. Okay, now I'm going back out on the balcony to brave the weather again. And I think the temperature says it's like 60, but it's windy and freezing cold. But I want to be out there when we go underneath it, because it looks really cool. And I want to get a picture for you guys. So hold on. Okay, now I'm out on our balcony, and I got the little tether for my phone. And okay, oh shit! I'm not gonna be able to see us go underneath from out here. All right, maybe as we get closer. Okay, this is ridiculous. Now I'm back outside, going back upstairs because I'm afraid I'm not gonna be able to see it from my balcony. So we're going back outside. I ditched the robe though. I just couldn't bring myself to go out into the deck in a robe and a winter coat. So we're going back up. Oh my god, I got it. I totally got it. I'm more scared of shit. But I totally got it. speaking of Copenhagen, let's get back to it. We want to make the most of our day here in Copenhagen, so we jump on the Royal Caribbean shuttle that drops us off right next to the Orient Kai metro station. Buying tickets here at the kiosk was super simple, and within minutes we're riding the sleek Danish public transit straight to Copenhagen's central station. The cruise terminals are so close to the city center, we actually could get from our balcony deck to downtown in less than 30 minutes. Here's a fun fact for you. Copenhagen has more bicycles than residents. Over 5 times more bikes than cars here are on the road, and 62% of residents commute by bike every single day, rain or shine. The city even has a bike superhighway connecting the suburbs to the city center. I'm a huge outdoorsman. I love my bike, and I love this whole concept. I'm not sure how much I would want to ride in the rain, obviously for riding in the rain, but this whole thing, yeah, no bueno with rain. So yeah, if you hear a bell behind you when you're in Copenhagen, it's highly advisable you move, and you move fast. These people are not sightseeing, they are on a mission, and this is the way they get themselves around the city. With our first steps on Copenhagen soil, we're off. So our first stop is the Little Mermaid statue, because apparently you have to stop at the Little Mermaid statue. I'm sorry, Copenhagen enthusiasts and Little Mermaid fans. I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. Believe it or not, this Little Mermaid statue has millions of visitors every year.
Okay, so we're at the Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen. I'm sure there's a reason, but holy crowds. Okay, that's no one. Look at this. What in that? What? Why?
To me, this is a city you don't want to see. To me, a city where this is a major tourist attraction is a city that doesn't have a lot of tourist attractions. But this is Copenhagen. It's got to have a lot of tourist attractions.
And
this is a conundrum.
One of them is that. That's it. That's all these people.
This is Copenhagen. It's got to have significant things. But
I did a little research here to understand just what is going on. This Little Mermaid statue is treated like the Mona Lisa here in Copenhagen because she's based on Hans Christian Andersen's 1837 fairy tale. And since he's basically Denmark's literary royalty, she has become a national symbol. She was unveiled in 1913 and gifted by the founder of the Carlsberg Brewery. Yes, the beer guy, the beer company. So now I'm a little intrigued and a little more of a fan of the Little Mermaid statue, just knowing she's connected to Carlsberg. And I know that says everything about me, but I mean, come on. The Little Mermaid statue or a beer? You know my answer. But this I loved. This is part of the Nordic Seaplanes operation. Their terminal is nearby the Little Mermaid statue, and these planes connect Aarhus and Copenhagen daily. Guess where we're going next? Aarhus, not by a seaplane, but how cool are these? We saw a seaplane landing when we left the very first day, December 10th, 2023 from Miami on the Ultimate World Cruise. And I think this was only the second one we've seen. I just think they're super cool. Roy and I actually took flight lessons. We are probably about 3/4 of the way through our private pilot's license in hours. And so planes and private planes just intrigue us, and these seaplanes, just all the better. But what really caught my eye is the Naval and War Museum across the water. and the view of our floating neighborhood cruise ships. Look at us right here in the middle. The ship in front of us is the Costa, and behind us is the MSC. It's a busy day here in the Copenhagen harbor. Speaking of busy, one thing to note about visiting this incredible city is Copenhagen is one of Northern Europe's busiest cruise ports, welcoming over 1 million cruise passengers every year. And you saw it here on our visit to the Little Mermaid statue. It was so crowded. And as you'll see us go through the day, there is a lot of people here. And so when you're planning your visit to Copenhagen, you want to be sure to allot enough time for everything that you want to see. And if you're on a cruise ship, allot enough time to get back on the train, back on the bus, back to the cruise ship, because there is a lot of people here. Thankfully, we can walk away from the Little Mermaid statue through this. This is the Castellet. It's where Copenhagen history meets cozy park vibes. One of the best preserved star fortresses in Europe, it still functions as an active military area. This area was built in 1662 and it's shaped like a 5-pointed star and is surrounded by grass, a moat, walking paths. It was so beautiful in here. We saw red barracks, a working windmill, these military houses that date back centuries. And look at this. The St. Alban's Church. This stunning surprise is just outside the Castellet, and it makes you feel like you're being teleported to England for a hot second, and that teleport is more real than you realize. This church was dedicated to the first British Christian martyr and built in 1885. St. Albans is even nicknamed the English Church. The church was funded highly by Princess Alexandra of Denmark, who married, of course, the future King Edward VII of England. Architecturally, it's pure English Gothic revival. Think like pointed arches, stained glass windows, flint stone walls. It is so beautiful from the outside. I can only imagine the inside. This Roman Catholic cathedral of Ansgar Kirk is a surprising, peaceful, little, beautiful spot just steps from the city buzz. It was built in 1842, and the church reflects neoclassical architecture with elegant lines and a light-filled nave. And like I said, it's right in the center of the city with all these people and all this buzz going on. It was just a nice little peaceful stop. It's a total vibe shift nearby in Copenhagen's only Russian Orthodox church. This is St. Alexander Nevsky's church. It stands out immediately with its signature onion domes, golden crosses, and a striking red brick facade. And it's located right near the Amalienborg Palace. So we're mid-stride here. We stop and we say, wait, are we in Rome or are we in Denmark? Right in front of Frederick's Church. With the largest dome in Europe, it's over 102 feet in diameter. It's commonly called the Marble Church. With construction starting in 1744, it was inspired by St. Peter's Basilica in Rome and took over 150 years to complete. It's nicknamed the Marble Church because marble was the only thing used in the early phases of construction. Much of it was later completed with limestone to save money. If you have time, you want to go inside the interior here. Total wow factor. Circular layout, soaring ceiling, and royal portraits line the walls. This area here, the palace, the royal palace, and then each of these churches I've shown you, it's just a collision of royalty meets religion. Flanked on the right in the center of these two is the official residence of the Danish royal family, the Amalienborg Palace. Built in 1750, it's made up of 4 identical Rococo-style palaces arranged around octagonal courtyard, with a massive statue of King Frederick V in the center. You can see the changing of the guard here every day at noon, and it's led by the Royal Lifeguards in full uniform and bearskin hats, and you don't want to miss it. All of this is for us to head directly to the iconic Nyhavn. This show-stopping, vibrant 17th century waterfront that screams, you're in Denmark. This screams it. It's everything Denmark. And it's so cool. It's so vibrant, so much going on, so colorful, and so cool. It was built in 1670 to help merchants offload cargo right into the city center. Nyhavn was once Copenhagen's roughest waterfront district. However, in the midst of full drunk sailors and scandals, Hans Christian Andersen lived in 3 different houses here, including number 20, where he wrote Princess and the Pea. Imagine writing a bedtime story while all this chaos unfolds outside your window. Despite the crowds, locals do hang out here, and in these bars and restaurants and entertainment venues, it's just a welcome spot for everyone. All this sightseeing requires us to stop for a good Tuborg and some lunch right about now, so we duck into Harry's Irish Pub, where we're welcomed in a way we never thought we would expect. I had to blur out the E here. This was their sign, so they could spell it however they want, but for us, we only have one E in our name, Nilsen. Everyone tries to add the E. We only need one E around here.
A lot of head on this Torborg.
But it's at the line.
It's at the line?
Yeah, look.
And just like that, we make it back on the train and the bus like true epic explorers.
We did it, you guys! We did it! The bus, the train, we had no idea, but we got it. We went on the bus 25 and the M4 train and we made it.
We rocked Denmark.
We did. We got to see Copenhagen when it was looking
and it
really,
wasn't just furniture.
really
I thought
meek.
it was furniture.
It was looking really meek, and we had the Jacobs with us, and we had a beautiful day and a beautiful lunch, and it was awesome.
And we realized that Copenhagen has this vibe about it that it doesn't shout. It's not like in your face. It's just this quiet, super cool vibe of history, current, green, people, vibrant colors, just such a cool city. One we would have loved to stay overnight. And if you've watched my videos, you know that our biggest complaint about the Ultimate World Cruise is just that we didn't stay overnight in more ports. So stay tuned. Royal Caribbean is supposed to be announcing the Ultimate World Cruise 2.0 in September on our reunion cruise. We'll be there. I will immediately tell you all about it, and just pray that there are more overnights. And on that note, I wonder how many of you would be open to doing a world cruise. And if you would, how long would you be willing to be gone? Because again, if you followed along, you know that we've been on board now for 8 months, and this is a 9-month journey. So I'm wondering, would you sail for 9 months? Would you go around the world? Would you want to? And just your thoughts. So put them in the comments. What you think? Did Copenhagen steal your heart? Have you been to Copenhagen? Do you love Denmark? Where have you been in Denmark? Just as you know, I love your comments. Put them in the comment section below. And we have one more stop in Denmark. We're excited for our one more stop in Denmark, but on the other side of Denmark is Norway, and we are busting out of our skin to get to Norway. So our next stop is in Aarhus, Denmark. Much smaller city, but we have a cool plan for the day, so it's one you don't want to miss. So that's a good segue to remind you to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. You can click the bell. It'll notify you when I post the next video on Aarhus. And until Aarhus, how do you say it? Tak for nu. or hi for new, which means thanks and bye for now. See you all in Aarhus.